what the picture looked like, you might have seen that the cupola at the top was actually lit.
Yes.
This was a suggestion that came from a resident here who had thought it would be really neat to be able to have the cupola lit.
Right. And they were right.
And they were right.
It's
They were
beautiful.
absolutely right. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
So if you go out at, probably have to go out after 9:30.
Well, now you do because it gets dark so late.
And you could check it out. So.
To do that, the cupola on top of this building is all lit up at night. It's on sensors now, so come and enjoy it. It's pretty neat.
Absolutely.
Pretty neat. And we want to thank our resident who
Yes.
suggested that to
Yes,
us. That was
absolutely.
a neat suggestion.
And you all notice Ken is missing from the show.
We're missing Ken
So
today.
we're missing our buddy here.
Yeah.
Ken is in Orlando, Florida, and he is down there cheering on his daughter, Kristen, who's in the National Special Olympics.
Yeah.
And that is a big deal. It's they kind of format it after the traditional Special Olympics, but very special. She's in the 100, 200, 400-meter relay and the long jump, and apparently she's in the finals for that at this point.
That's awesome.
And they'll know if she gets medals by the end of this week. So a couple more days, Ken said. But he said they're having a great time. He said it's very hot.
I bet it is.
I said, yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah, we know
Florida in June, I'm sure is
Florida
hot.
gets hot. We know
Yeah.
that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure. But
So,
how great that
yeah,
Ken's
so
down
it's a
there
good update
cheering
from
on his
him.
daughter, and we're very happy for him. And he sounded
Yeah.
very excited when he was talking about
Yes.
her being a part
Yep.
of this and him
Yep.
being able to go down and be a part of this.
Absolutely.
So, really
So,
good. That's really good.
Yep,
Do we have a trivia question today?
we do. So we have some Dick Witt trivia here.
Dick Witt trivia.
Yep.
Okay.
And the winner will get the bottle of wine, which is Turtle Bay.
Turtle Bay.
Yep, from New Zealand. So, looks wonderful. You're going to call Michelle at 336-389-4103.
Okay.
And the question is, which popular 20th century rock guitarist intentionally set his guitar on fire while performing on stage?
Intentionally.
Which popular 20th century rock guitarist intentionally set his guitar on fire while performing on stage?
Wow. There you go.
I don't know.
And this was a popular 20th century
Yep.
rock star. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we'll
I
see if
think
anybody
people will
comes
get
up with
it.
that
I
answer
think people
to
will
that.
get it.
So I haven't seen Michelle running out of the room yet.
I haven't
so
either. People are Googling it right
They
now.
must be Googling it up.
Yep.
So, well, while she's waiting, let's chat a little bit about COVID like we typically do.
Yes.
And so, we have been saying all along, Lisa, that, COVID is out there. We know it's out there. It's very contagious. We continue to have our battle here with COVID. We have independent living residents that are positive at this point. We have staff members who continue from time to time to be positive. And, it's not any different here than it is at all of our sister communities, and quite honestly, just about everywhere else in this country right now. This is just going on. We know that the Omicron is very contagious. And the good news about the Omicron is we have yet, that I know of, to have any residents or staff members who have had the Omicron variant have to go to the hospital. So, I'm not saying it's an easy thing to get through, but apparently people are getting through when they get sick from it.
Yep.
And so, as of right now, we are not seeing any kind of, because we do contact tracing when we have a resident or staff member who has become positive. We're not seeing any trace of this or trend that shows that it's coming from here internally. A lot of times it's coming from family members staff members and residents who are out with family members or whatever, or various other reasons that people are out there. So, so we're not making any changes at this point. We kind of have said until we see some sort of trend that shows us that we've got an issue here where it's being passed by resident to resident, then I think we might have to do something a little bit differently. But right now, I think we're just going to continue with what we got. And, our folks are, when they become positive, they quarantine for 10 days,
Right,
basically is what
right.
they do. And
Yep.
then at that point, they're allowed to be able to be out in the general public again as long as they're not symptomatic. And so, what we're seeing is folks that are getting through it. And, a lot of times, in some cases, they're asymptomatic. They don't even
Right,
know it. They
right.
had to
That is
test for
true.
one reason or another. I know that's happened with several of our staff members,
Yes.
that because of the ongoing testing we have, we're finding out that they're positive,
Right.
but
They
they're
didn't even know
asymptomatic.
it.
They didn't
Yeah.
even know it.
Yeah.
So, it's just going to continue to be this way. And, I don't know how long Omicron's going to stick around here at this point. It just seems like it's so contagious that it's getting through. And, we're not seeing any real trends as far as unvaccinated versus vaccinated versus boosted as far as getting it. What I think we are seeing, though, is still some trending towards those that are vaccinated and boosted are coming away with less symptoms than those that are not. And so, we're continuing to kind of see that a little bit. But, as we know, Omicron is just the BA2 variant is just very contagious at this point. So people are still getting it.
Right.
So we'll keep up with that. And, if that things changes, we'll let you know about that. But, we are kind of handling the same thing here that we're pretty much doing at all of our other sister communities as well. And so everybody's just kind of monitoring at this point and kind of seeing. And, they make changes if necessary, but we really haven't had to do that here. So.
Okay. Well, we'll go on to some other.
Well, and maybe we ought to mention, Lisa, that most of our residents have had the booster shot. We have a booster clinic now, pretty much every Wednesday here on site, and so we encourage our staff members to go through and get the boosters. Any residents that didn't get a chance to go through the booster clinic the first time around.
Let us know if you still
If you
need your
want
booster.
to let us know, and we can tell you where to go to get that.
Absolutely.
And we're doing that every Wednesday now. So anyway, I just thought it might be good to plug
that's
that.
good. That's good. Some other news, give you some maintenance updates. The automatic door openers on the outside doors that enter back by the beauty shop area and the swimming pool area, still not working yet. Parts have been ordered. We're just patiently waiting for those parts. But just wanted to acknowledge that yes, we do know that the automatic door opener is not working, but parts have been ordered. Today, we've had, you might have felt a little more warmth in the bistro area. 2 of the 3 compressors that run that air conditioning system in that area have actually gone out. So we have 2 more compressors on the way, but we all know with supply chain it doesn't happen overnight anymore.
Right.
So we anticipate next week that those will be here on site. It will be probably a full day repair, and there will be areas that have to be shut off in order to do that repair. So we'll let you know if we need to close a certain area or anything like that. We'll give you as much notice as possible, but it is important that we get it repaired. So we might not have a whole lot of notice, but we'll give you as much as possible.
And Lisa, the reality is that we could actually have to close the bistro for the day.
We could. That potentially could be there.
Because that's the area that's being affected.
Because they have to take down the whole system just to replace the 2 parts that are bad, which means that bistro could be very hot for people that dine there as well as work there. It may be unbearable.
Yeah, so we'll let you know. We'll try and give you as much advance notice as possible when that's to happen. But just be aware that we might have to actually shut operation down for a day in the bistro to be able to replace the systems that are in there. So.
Another maintenance update. Just want to talk a little about the technology support that our maintenance team gives to folks here. Tim and John, they do an amazing job at helping keeping folks connected to our Spectrum services and helping with those tech devices and all that good stuff. Because we all know, we all use those devices, and we like it when they're up and running.
Yeah.
But we have seen over time that the request for technology support is changing a little bit. We're seeing requests for things that really we should not be doing.
They're out of our scope.
They're out of our scope.
For what we're willing to do.
And really are not river landing items. So met with Tim and John and really talked through, what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing. So there will be a memo coming out at the end of this week, really outlining what kind of support we can give. I'll give you just a couple examples. We're getting requests for Tim to fix someone's computer, install software, help someone with their banking account online.
Yeah,
That is not an area that we should be in.
yeah.
It really isn't.
We can't do that, and that was never
No,
that
was
was
not the
never the
intention.
idea or intention for
No,
Tim.
it wasn't.
And quite honestly, and this is not fair to Tim either. Tim will go out to someplace and actually try and help them under one premise, and then they
Right.
try and hit.
Right.
Then the resident will say, "Well, while you're here, can you do this, this, and this?"
Right.
And that's not really fair to Tim or anybody else at this point. So
Right.
we're going to have to. We've been dreading this, but we knew
Yeah.
this was coming. We're going to
Yep.
have to streamline what Tim really can do and what he
Right.
can't
Right.
do. So we'll be sending something out about that so
Yep.
you all can know.
Yep.
And Lisa, we do know there are companies that we have names of that residents can
Absolutely.
go to for
Yes.
those kinds of things.
Yes,
We're just not
yes.
going to be able to allow Tim to be able to do
Right,
those anymore.
right,
so.
right, yep. So we'll have that memo out with more information at the end of the week. A furl update. So River Landing Writing Competition. A nice number of submissions have already been entered, and additional submissions from staff and residents will be welcomed until the deadline of June 30th. Submissions should be sent or delivered to resident Walt Pilcher. Guidelines for submission are on the furl portal on the left-hand side of the CareMerge site. So that's very exciting.
Yeah, that's
I think we have
pretty
a lot
neat.
of writers here, so
Yeah.
that's great.
Are you submitting something, Lisa?
I am not.
Yeah.
I'm not.
No, that's
I-
not one of my
I
fortes.
don't have that talent.
No.
no.
And we know we've got a lot of really good writers
We
here at
do,
River
we
Landing.
do.
I wouldn't want to even try and take up
I
somebody's
wouldn't
time.
either.
with
It
something
would be
like
embarrassing. So, but now my daughter, she is a great writer.
that. Is she?
Yes.
Yeah.
She loves the creative writing part. I mean, she'll make up great stories. I'm not sure where that came from.
Yeah.
But she does a great job with that. I could enter her material as mine.
Well, sure, you could. Although ethically, I'm not sure that really is
Well,
right.
that's
Lisa,
true.
But
That's
that's
true.
true. Yes, you could.
The Furl Work Group will be meeting next Tuesday, June 14th, and continuing their work on the fall series of courses. A lively group of new and a few old favorite offerings are taking shape. If you have suggestions for courses or course leaders, please be in touch with any of the Furl Work Group. The fall offerings will be presented in the September issue of Encompass, and registration will begin on September 6th.
Awesome.
One last notice, the Furl program also plans to host another round of River Landing conversations with individual staff and residents. Conversations will air weekly on Channel 1390, starting on Friday, September 23rd at 3 p.m. I loved those. Those were great to be able to
those
see.
are really great. Yeah,
You learn a little more about someone
Yeah, and
that way.
they're well done. The questions they're asked that are really well done, and you really get a chance to get to know the people a little bit better. So it's very
Yep.
good.
Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Other upcoming events. So we don't want to forget, this Friday is the annual Appeal Golf Tournament.
Yeah.
We have several teams playing, residents and some of our vendors and some of our staff members. Should be a good turnout. But the clubhouse will be closed that day for lunch.
Just for lunch, not for dinner
Lunch.
that night.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll be back open for dinner.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that's going to be a great event.
Yeah.
Obviously the money that we
Yep.
raise from that goes towards our annual appeal. And we got a big goal this year. We've got a
We do.
$150,000 goal for our annual appeal.
Yep.
So, being able to have the proceeds coming from this to go towards that will help out with our annual appeal.
Yep.
So that's really good.
We have a couple staff events coming up that we'd just like to share so you know what's going on. Day of Learning. Some of you that have been here for years know what that might look like. Annually, before COVID, we would get our staff together and we'd break up into 3 days. Since we can't ask all of our staff to come the same day, then we wouldn't have folks taking care of our residents here. That come to do some teamwork, team building, getting to know each other from different departments. It's a good way to build River Landing team. So we are actually going to bring that back this year. It's been a couple years since we've been able to have it, so we're looking forward to that. That is June 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, so it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll be doing most things here in the multipurpose room. We will be using the gym earlier in the morning and probably some outside areas. So when you see 50 to 60 employees running around, they're doing different challenges. We try to weave in some fun with the education piece. So it's usually a really nice 3 days.
Yeah, one of the benefits to me of doing the day of learning is we do a really good job of building team and family in our department areas, but a lot of times our team members don't ever get a chance to meet team members from other departments, and so it's an opportunity for us to build, like you said, build Team River Landing for us. And
Absolutely.
and we feed them well during that event, and it's a chance for them to come and do something a little different for the day than what they typically do, and it's a nice little break for the staff members, and they seem to really enjoy it. And we try and make the learning part of it fun, so that it's not a drag for them, and we want them to learn something from this besides the team environment thing that we're doing. So it's been very successful in the past, and so we're gonna be bringing that back. So like you said, you might be seeing the staff in groups
Different
a little bit more
locations,
those days.
right. Another staff event we're doing that we hadn't been able to do the last couple years is our staff picnic.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try that again this year, and that'll be June 25th. And the reason I want to mention that is that night we actually do close our dining venues, and we have boxed meals available at lunchtime. So we'll be posting that information so you know about that as well.
Did you mention where that is? We do that at the Triad Park.
We do.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's nice because the venue that we do it in, we have a pavilion that we rent, and it's very inexpensive. Oh my gosh! I mean, it costs us $100 to rent the venue, so it's really great. But it's a nice big pavilion, and it's right next to the memorial that they have there, and so it really is just such a nice setting right there, and we get a chance to really do some fun things with the staff, and it's also a chance for them to bring their families, and we get a chance to see a lot of family members that day. So just
have some good food.
Yeah, it's a good feel-good event for our staff. So
4th of July events. July 1st, we have the Red, White, and Blue tournament, golf tournament. And we also have Penny Candy coming in that night, so that should be a fun night.
That's a Friday, correct?
It is, yep. And then July 4th, there'll be the golf cart parade. There'll be a picnic meal in all of the venues. And the River Landing Chorus is also performing sometime that day as well.
Super.
So, yep.
That'll be good. And that's a Monday, obviously, right?
Yep.
It's a Monday, July 4th. So.
And then one of the last events, the Employee Scholarship Ceremony, that is coming up.
Hard to believe.
So, yes, our committee meets this week to really talk through all the applications that we've gotten. But the event is July 16th at 11 a.m., so we'll publicize that more in the July Encompass.
Yeah, we got quite a few applications again this year, so that's really good.
Yep. The committee's going to have a hard time.
They are.
Going through all of them and figuring out what to give folks.
Yeah, and that's always one of my favorite events. You really ought to put July 16th, that's a Saturday, on your calendars, because that scholarship award ceremony, first of all, Wiz is the one that does a lot of the, well, not a lot, he does all of the introductions for each of the applicants and all, and
he's a great
he does
MC.
such a great job emceeing that, and it's a really feel-good event because a lot of our scholarship winners bring their family members out, and it's neat to see our staff members really happy and excited, and really, through the generosity of the residents and others, but mostly the residents, these scholarships just mean the world to our staff members, and so it's a great recruitment tool for us. Quite honestly, it's a great retention tool for us as well.
Absolutely.
So thank you all for doing that and for supporting that. That is a huge deal, and it'll be fun again to see it. And we have a lot of the family members of the folks for the residents that have been set up for the scholarship of the society groups that we have. So some of their family members come. Like Charles and Alice Fisher, their sons will come. And, Mary Walter Schaefer, her family used to be able to come before COVID. They used to come out and be a part of this, right? I mean, that was from the past. Now we've got Regina Shepherd and then the Churns as well have a scholarship foundation set up in our group. So it's really kind of cool. It's really grown a lot, and I think it'll be a really great event. So hoping you all can come to that.
Just some more other news. We have activity surveys are due back to resident services by Monday, June 13th. So that's where you can share some of your ideas on some of the activities. We are purchasing another bus, Tom.
Yes, and it's, you know, we've already been asked whether or not we're going to change the name on it, but some of you have seen a bus that's up on the auxiliary parking lot near the clubhouse that has a church name on the side of it. And so, yes, we are purchasing that bus. We're in the process of purchasing that bus. We haven't done it yet. And so, I don't know, we thought it might be fun just to keep a church name on there and not change it to a River Landing name on the side of that bus. But no, I'm teasing. Obviously, we'll change the name and have the bus redone when it's officially ours. Right now, it's not officially ours yet. We're still working through that.
But it is a 29 passenger.
29 passenger, and it's about, what, about 7 years old? Is that what I think it is?
Yes, yes.
But boy, when you look
In
at the
amazing
inside
shape.
of it, it's, I don't know that the church
They
really
didn't
used
use
it
it
all
much.
much because
No,
it's in great
no.
shape, and
Yeah.
I feel bad about that for them, but
Right.
you know, they're the ones that decided they wanted to sell it.
They
and
just
so,
weren't using it.
And so we were
Yep.
fortunate enough to hear about it, and we're able to get to it. And so
Right, right.
and we've been kind of looking for something that would
We
kind of
have.
be another
We have. You just
25 to
can't
30
find,
passenger.
You can't find it.
It's hard to find 'em.
So,
Yeah, just you know, FYI, we've got our sister communities looking for buses right now, and they're being told that it could be up to a 2-year wait to get a bus right now. So we feel very fortunate that, you know, we were able to find this bus.
Absolutely.
And we're probably paying about half the price for what this bus would cost new by.
And it has
get
right
it.
around 10,000 miles, and we all know for a bus that
Yeah, that's hardly
nothing.
anything.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
so
It looks pristine.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's going to be a nice
it's
addition to our
very nice.
our family here.
Yep.
So
And the last item, it's this time of year, Tom. It's budget time.
yeah. Yeah, so, you know, we
We've
are
started the
starting to work on
process.
budget. You know, you all probably remember, I've said this enough that you probably know this, but our fiscal year runs from October 1 to September 30th. So, you know, we are now almost 9 months, completely 9 months through the fiscal year at this point. And so, you know, that's about the time we start working on a budget for next year. And so,
Yeah.
I thought budget was going to be tough last year. Budget's going to be even tougher this year because you all know this. I mean, gas prices are gotten crazy high,
Which affects
and
everything.
they're still going to go up higher. And we're getting surcharged from all of our delivery companies for gas surcharges and things like that. And just the cost of everything, the availability and cost has just gotten ridiculous too. So, you know, creating a budget that that works for us is going to be a lot harder this year. So we're going to have to be creative, and we need to kind of start really maybe rethinking the way we do some things. You know, you all know this. I think you do anyway. You know, we're doing very well on our occupancy on the independent living side. We're doing very well on our occupancy for the assisted living, which is Muirfield and St. Andrews. But we are not doing as well on the occupancy side for our Pebble Beach areas and for our Wingfoot area. And so, you know, that's, you know, from a financial standpoint, not having those beds filled as much as we'd like to have them filled, you know, creates a drain from us from a revenue standpoint. And, you know, yes, that means more beds for independent living residents when they need to go there, but that's not really helping us right now because we need to derive that revenue from that to help kind of make everything go and cover our costs. So we might have to get creative with that a little bit more. You know, we are actually looking to hire a person to come in and actually focus 100% on admissions for us for the healthcare center because we feel like we need that expertise right now. So we're trying to be creative on how we're doing things to try and keep, you know, the revenue side in balance, keep the expense side in balance as best we can, and marry the two and make things work. So So, all that being said, it's going to be a very creative time with the budget this year, and we'll just have to see how that turns out. And there'll be more to come about that as we get further along into the budget process. Lisa, I don't think I want to end on that, though.
Okay.
I think we need to talk about the piano concert that we had.
Absolutely.
That was...
So Monday, we had the wonderful piano dedication.
Yes.
It was amazing.
Yes.
And the talent we have right here in our community.
It was really, really cool
It
to be able to
was.
see each of the pianists, which they were all, and they all came up and said, "Oh, I'm not a pianist,
I
and
know,
I'm not this,
but
and I'm
they
not
are.
that," and every one of them was
They
super
were wonderful.
fantastic. I mean,
Yes,
they
yes.
certainly underplayed themselves,
They
meaning
did.
that as far as how good they were
Right,
fantastic.
right, they
And
were. And they all played something different.
they did. I thought that was really
That
cool.
was neat. And they were highlighting the piano.
Yeah.
That's what it was all about,
Yeah.
was highlighting the piano and what it can do.
Yeah.
So it was neat to see that.
And it was a lot of fun. We even ended with a song about, somebody's 51st
did,
wedding
we
anniversary,
did.
right? So
That was very sweet.
it was very cool, I thought. It
Yes,
was just
yes.
that was just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, and maybe you already knew this because you were part of that piano committee and I wasn't, but the first person that came up, the first couple notes they hit, I realized instantly the difference between having an incredible piano like this versus the one we had. And I'm not trying to say anything against the one that we had.
Right.
It was a great piano for us for a long time.
Absolutely. But when you compare them.
But it was
Yeah.
the quality of the notes, the quality of the instrument. I don't think even me, who's not really a music major in any
Sure.
way, had a much more of an appreciation for
I
how
agree.
great
I agree.
that new piano is
Right,
for
right.
us. So
No. Yeah, searching for that piano, I learned all of that. I'm like, oh, now I see what the difference is.
yeah,
Because I didn't hear it before with our other piano.
no, right,
But when you start to hear the newer pianos and the caliber that we have,
yeah,
you can hear the difference. There's definitely a difference. So,
yeah. You all need to help me though. I think Lisa might have a heart attack because she was worried about people touching the piano while it was up here without it being covered. And, we quickly, as soon as the concert was over, she was like, "Tom, come get your gloves on right away. We got to get this cover on this piano. We are not letting it happen to this piano." And so,
well, we gotta
so
protect.
help
We
me
gotta
here.
protect that
Help
piano.
us protect this investment, right?
Absolutely.
And, it's just going to be a great instrument for us for a
many
long
decades.
time
Yes,
here at Evergreen.
yes.
So how appreciative
Yeah.
are we that we have that? And,
Absolutely.
again, a big thank you to John and Verna
Yeah.
Kroom for donating the funds to be able to purchase
Absolutely.
this piano.
And a
So,
gift that impacts the entire community.
yeah,
Because we broadcast almost everything from this room now.
yeah,
So that way, folks that are in healthcare that can't come over, they're still benefiting from the programs that we do.
yeah.
So it's just neat to see that. They deserve that much quality as well.
Lisa, I just sitting here thinking before we announce the trivia winner, there probably need to spend a second talking about, we had talked, I think, at the last show about the fact that we are trying to pursue a new parking lot in the back. And so people have seen some stuff
Right.
being delivered, and
Right.
that's all just temporary. That's just pretty much just a special dust that we're putting on there to be able to kind of keep that area from getting too messed up is really what it ends up being. And we did that really more for the car show, which we ended up
Right,
not being able to
right.
have, unfortunately.
Sure.
But just so you know, we are getting bids on that right now to be able to convert that to a parking lot in the back here, and I'm pointing to the back of our multi-purpose room here. So you all, I think, know the area that we're talking about. We'll try and put up a drawing of it at some point, but it looks like it's about 20 to 22 additional parking spots. It would also be an additional parking spots for golf carts as well. And so, that's kind of the game plan. And I think everybody is very well aware of this, but, at times out here, we really struggle with the parking out front. If we have any kind of activity going on here that brings in people from the
Right,
outside, whether it be memorial services or the like,
Right.
we struggle with having enough parking spots. So 20 or 22 may not seem like a lot, but actually it'd be very good for
Absolutely.
us as far as pulling some of that volume out of the front parking lot area and putting it here. So, you know, we are still moving forward with that idea, and I hope to have that done sometime by the end of the summer. That's my game plan, the goal for that. But, you know, other than that, we're not really, I mean, we're done with renovation and building for now, and so, you know, there's nothing on the horizon that I'm aware of at this point that we are planning to do. So, you know, that's, you know, I just want to make sure we kind of share that this is probably about the biggest thing we've got going, is this parking lot thing that we're going to be doing. So, anyway, there's a couple things that I thought, you know, I know we do an agenda and we try and remember everything that we want to talk about, but there's a couple extra things I thought that would be worth talking about there.
Absolutely.
So okay, I guess unless you have something else, Lisa, that I've forgotten.
No,
We're
down to trivia.
Trivia.
So the question was, which popular 20th century rock guitarist intentionally set his guitar on fire while performing on stage? So the answer is Jim Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix.
Yep. So the winner was
Dick Witt. Oh no, wait a minute. He put the question in, he can't win.
But it was another loyal watcher.
A loyal watcher, okay.
Okay,
All
you have a
right.
guess?
John Hoyt.
No. Okay, Lou Insidious.
Oh, Lou Insidious, okay. Well, that was going to be my next guess, so.
Oh, they are very loyal watchers.
Yes, they
so,
are.
yep. So they are the winners today. So we'll make sure you get this bottle of wine. So
We'll send Brian right up with it, right?
we don't want to send Brian.
We don't?
They might only get half of it.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yep.
I keep forgetting about that Brian. He has a
He's
tendency
tricky
to,
like that.
he volunteers a little too easily to take
He
that
does.
stuff up
Oh, I'll
to the
take
winners,
that.
doesn't he? So,
Oh.
well. So Lisa, when are we back
Very
on
good.
again? Do we have a date set for
I
the
think
next
it's
one?
2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Pretty
So
sure.
we'll be back on in a couple weeks. You know, if there are things that that we're not sharing as part of this show that you'd like to see us share, you know, please feel free to stop Lisa or I, or send us an email, or give us a quick phone call.
Yep.
You know, because we want this program to be informational for
Right.
you, and
Right.
and sometimes we, you know, sometimes we miss opportunities to be able to say some things that maybe we, you know,
Right.
so residents do help us a lot with
Right.
suggestions and different
Absolutely.
things like that. So,
Yeah.
so please feel free to make suggestions on that. And hopefully we'll have Ken back at the next one, and he can have some funnies, you know, because we
Yeah.
always like it when Ken
Yeah.
brings his
Yeah.
funnies.
It's
and,
actually the 29th that we're on
the
next.
29th.
Yes.
Okay, so that's 3 weeks from today.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because we have Day of Learning the other week.
That's
why
right.
we had to postpone it one.
Okay, so
Yep.
it's 3 weeks from
Yep.
today we'll be back on. But,
Yep.
you know, just know how much we love you all and how much we appreciate you being part of the family here at River Landing. And, you know, Lisa, it's just, I don't know about you, I'm sure it's the same way with you, but, you know, it's really nice to know that when I wake up on Monday morning and I'm coming to work, I don't dread it at all. I mean, I actually love coming to work. I love being here.
Yeah.
You know, this is a family, and you know, things don't always run perfectly, and we have to step into
Sure.
some messes sometimes and fix
Absolutely.
messes and
Yep.
you know, those kinds of things. But you know, really, we've got a great community. We've got a lot of things I think that are going for us, and we've been very blessed
We
as
have.
a community.
We
so
have great people to work with.
we do. Great residents, and we
Yep.
got a great team, and so just appreciate that.
Mhm.
You know, I don't want to take that for granted. That's just something that we need to always keep in mind. We've got a really special place here. So, well, thank you for watching. We love you. We hope you have a great day, and we'll see you again in 3 weeks.